you guys, you and I, we have some business to take care of today, all right? And it has to do with how much you love dogs and the type of relationship that you want to have with your dog. So, I would like to start out. Actually, let me introduce myself for anybody who is watching who hasn't met me yet. My name is Jennifer Malloway. I am a dog trainer and behavior consultant, graduate of the Academy for Dog Trainers, and newly Fear Free certified, which I'm very excited about. And today I would like to talk about reality TV dog training. But first, I have some questions for you. So, everybody watching live or on the replay, I would love your feedback on the following questions. I have a checklist here. I want to know, and give me a yes, no for each of the following, about what you would like from your dog. Okay, would you like your dog to be more playful? Or just, would you like your dog to be playful? Yes? No? Is that a quality you want to have in your dog? We like silly, goofy, fun stuff from dogs. Or do we like dogs to be more docile and just kind of, I don't know, obedient? just do what you say and nothing else. For myself, I really like a goofy, silly, playful dog. I love seeing their like tongue hanging out the side, like super relaxed, and their creativity. I love when they just they do silly stuff out of nowhere all the time. Like Dizzy does this, he will make up his own games, and bounce around and spin in circles. CK's antics. Yes to playful. We like playful. Yeah, that's what I like to see too. Sandy, silly goofy any day. Hell yeah. Okay. How about, would you like a dog who is more interactive with other people, other dogs? Or would you like to see a dog who would prefer to keep to themselves, avoid other people, maybe even warn others off? Do we like more social behaviors or less? Say says docile doggos because I'm an old and tired human being. That's funny. Say. Yeah, we like our dogs to be able to chill out, right? To be able to calm down when we need them to calm down. That's definitely uh, a desirable quality, I'll say. Cassidy says, for a future dog, I would love to be playful and be themselves. Heck yeah. Does that mean you don't have a dog yet, Cassidy? Let us know. I always want to hear about your pets or what you want in a pet. Yeah. Okay. CK says, yes, social. Sandy says, more social. Yes. Okay, cool. We'll move on to the next one then. Would you prefer a dog? This one's going to seem kind of obvious. Would you prefer a dog who learns faster or who you have to work to get them to learn what you like? You can let me know, but I'm going to assume that most of us would like a dog who learns pretty quickly, right? Or how about a dog? Would you like a dog who's more or less aggressive? This one, it could go both ways. There might be people out there who would prefer a dog who is aggressive. If you are guarding a junkyard or you want a guarding dog, you might like a dog who displays more aggressive behaviors. But for the most part, I would think, at least, I don't know, this is just my opinion. I would prefer a dog who is not aggressive in the slightest. Like I said, I want pro-social, I want silly, goofy. That's what I like in a dog. Let's see. Says it's best for doggos to be social. Dogs that don't socialize often do act fearful and grumpy and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, Cassidy says, yes, and I am Christopher's fiance. Oh, well, lovely to meet you. CK, yes, fast learner. Yes, learn fast. Oh my gosh. That, like, yeah, for sure. All of us want that. And okay, CK says non-aggressive. Yeah, most people, I think, would prefer a dog who does not display aggressive behaviors. Cindy says, I have both. Very, very smart. Oh, for in the different dogs, very, very smart is Turtle, and Sam is not so smart, but I love him. Poor Sam. But he's such a beautiful boy. Okay, so let's see. So aggressive, non-aggressive. How about, would you like your dog to be more stressed or less stressed in life? I'm gonna lump the next two together: stressed and anxious. Do we want dogs to be more anxious and stressed or less anxious and stressed? Again, I'll give you my opinion. And this is my passion, really, when it comes to dogs, is reducing their stress. I want to see dogs that are relaxed, that don't have a worry in the world, not just for their own quality of life, but because dogs who are stressed and anxious create problems that make life difficult for us too. CK, less stress, anxious. Sandy, less. Yes, absolutely. Dogs, yeah, it's sad. It's hard for me to see dogs, even if they're dogs that I don't know, will never meet. It's hard for me to see dogs that are stressed and anxious, just out in the world, on TV, like wherever, doesn't matter. No to stress and anxiety. Hell yeah. How about, okay, would you like a dog who offers you more attention, that they look to you more for information, for guidance, for whatever? Would you like a dog who pays you more attention, or a dog who is more independent and kind of tries to solve problems on their own? Yeah, we'll call it independent. Yeah, that's the question. Say says, my first poodle had heart problems because of stress, so not a good thing for their health. Yeah, that's actually, thank you for bringing that up. Stress affects our dogs physically, especially chronic stress. I mean, it's the same for us humans too, right? The more chronic bad stress that we experience that goes unaddressed, that affects us. That gives us major physical health problems, and it is the same for our animals too. So yeah, that was another pretty obvious one. We want dogs to be less stressed. But yeah, how about the attention question? I'm waiting on answers to come in about that. I, for one, and this is one that could go both ways too, but I generally, I have a bias toward the animals that want to stick close to us, that look to us for attention, the ones that we might label needy. That's my kind of dog. I'm a CK. I guess I'm the opposite. She says, I want a dog who will go to others. Oh, well, okay. I want a dog who will go to others and not just be a mama's boy. Cusco didn't want to interact with other humans much if I was around. So, super attached to you, but didn't have strong relationships or desire to have strong relationships with anybody else. That can be a struggle. Absolutely. Cassidy says it would be a mix to both for dependent and independence. Really good points, guys. Oh, Cassidy, by the way, tell me if I'm remembering correctly. You guys are talking about what kind of dog to get, right? And are you the one who would like a husky type dog? I might be mixing up things because my memory gets all jumbled and my brain is still kind of mush because this weekend was tough for a number of reasons. One of which was I was attending a 3-day behavior conference and trying to cram all this information into my brain. And so, my wires are kind of fried right now, but yep. Okay, good. I remember that. Excellent. Karen, hi, welcome. Thank you so much. She says, love your channel. Yeah, so brain's fried for that reason. I also have an update for you guys. For those of you who have been listening and following for at least, the last month, I have a puppy update, but I'll come back to that. But yeah, Cassidy says a mix to both dependent and an independence. So yeah, so if you're looking at husky types, Cassidy, you're definitely gonna have some of that independence for sure. So this talk will be good for you because how you raise them and train them will can have a huge impact. And that's kind of where I'm going with all of this, all these questions. Say says, I have both. Toby demands attention, and Toto is so independent. I wonder if he misses me sometimes. But Toby is super anxious too, and not sure if wanting attention is connected with that. Yeah, it could be. It could absolutely be. CK says, if I could replicate some personality of Cusco into my next dog, it would be his cat dog mentality. He would be near to me on his terms. Yeah, we love to let dogs have some choice and have some control about some influence over their own environment and how they choose to spend their time. Hopefully it's in agreement with how we like to live with them. But how needy and how stressed they are can definitely be interconnected. But how comfortable they are interacting with others absolutely is also connected with that stress and anxiety factor too, for sure. Okay, final two, and I hope I know your answers to these ones too. But how would you like your dog to trust you more or less? Trust is that's my real passion here. Is how much would you like your dog to trust you? How close of a bond would you like to have with your dog? You guys are gonna say we want more trust, closer bond, right? More, yes. I'm terrible at winking too. Oh my god, I don't even know why I tried to do that. Cassidy says, I am also the one who has the interest of behavior training and animal care. That's right. Oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. And I'm so glad to hear that too, because it's so interesting. I was telling Christopher about about that conference I was just at, because it's something that anybody would enjoy. If you have any interest in training and behavior, it's super fun. It's called Clicker Expo. They announced the dates for next year's conferences, which they don't know yet if it's going to be a virtual event like this one was, or maybe it'll be able to be in person depending on how things go. But it's really, I really enjoy it. I go almost every year, as often as I can afford it. And it's really uplifting as well as an educational activity for those of us who are very interested in behavior. Karen says, more, yes, more trust, closer bonds, wonderful. Okay, so all of these questions I have brought to mind because, as I said before, how we live with them, how we construct our interactions, the type of training methods that we use, how we raise them, all of basically it all comes down to how we interact with our animals influences the answers to all of those questions, right? And sometimes, like, okay, you guys have been so generous in giving me feedback to these questions, and hopefully we can keep that going, because I'd also love to know the answer to some more questions. So Cassidy, especially those of you who are saying you have an express interest in behavior and training, maybe outside of just your own relationship with your dog, where do you go for to learn about that? Where do you go to learn how to train your dog? Where do you go to learn about behavior in general? Because there are so many different ways to learn, right? There's conferences like the one I've just been talking about. You can listen to people like me, which you're here, so that's one of them. But there's books, there's TV shows, there's like webinars, courses, dedicated courses. CK's Antics, so I'll go to you. Wonderful, because I think I have some really good information. So that's one good source, but there's many. So who else? Cassidy, tell me. Furthermore, gosh, I'm thinking of more places where you can learn. Your local shelters, even going to dog training classes. There's so many ways to learn about behavior, and I have one particular source in mind that it scares me a little bit, because let me come back to that. First of all, you may have other ways that you get information, but I would like to know specifically about CK's Antics says, Cesar Millan was a huge resource for me. Cusco and I flunked out of puppy school. Flunked out? What does that mean? I didn't even, you can't flunk out of puppy school. Say says, I don't know the first thing about dog training, but what little I have learned from you so far has helped me interact with them so much better. And you are outnumbered with 4 dogs, absolutely. Well, good. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that it has helped, because that's what I'm here for. It's my new life's purpose. It's to help you guys have better interactions and teach your dogs better. So Jason says library or internet. Do you go to the library? I'm such a nerd and a bookworm, and I always have been, that I get so excited about going to libraries, and I cannot tell you, so I just moved out. I moved away from San Francisco last year, but that was my home for the last 6-ish years, 6 or 7. And when I discovered their library, not just the headquarters, but their whole library, the whole system, I cannot tell you how my nerdy bookworm self was so excited. And they have probably most libraries these days have a system where you can just download an ebook or audiobooks from your library for free, and it's amazing. And you guys, okay, if anybody likes to read, if you like libraries, that is definitely a cool thing to check out is your library's downloadable books and ebooks. Ha! Okay, thank you. Forgive me for my little nerdy library spiel there for a second, but it's Jason's fault. CK's Antics says, okay, maybe we dropped out. Okay, that's different. That's different. Cassidy says, I had volunteered for animal organizations, for example, the ASPCA. Yes, absolutely. That's kind of that's was where I started too, is the SFSPCA. I started volunteering there at the same time I started working as a dog walker for a company. And so my foray, is that the right word? Into behavior and training was from the volunteer classes at the SPCA, and they directed me towards the school that I ultimately went to for training. That's a really, really great resource. So you've got a great start. Jason says, you're outnumbered. I have 7. Yeah, I think Jason has us all beat. And CK says, I took what we did learn at puppy school and just started researching on my own. Clicker training or me associating noise with hand gesture is how Cusco learned. Awesome. Yeah, clicker. So I don't know if I said the name. That would be silly if I didn't, but the conference that I was talking about this weekend is called Clicker Expo. That is their, they definitely go into way more than just clicker training, but that's kind of a core part. And so yes, big fan. I'm a big fan. So, nobody said TV shows. And that was my question, and that's kind of where I wanted to go today. Does anybody watch reality TV dog training shows? There are a few, and the reason that I'm talking about this today is because last week I found out that Netflix was introducing a new dog training reality series. Lucky Ghost, hi! It says, hey Jen, over here from David's channel. Don't have a dog yet, but you're thinking about one? I have 4 sons and want so badly to get a dog soon. Thinking of a lab or a shepherd. What kind of shepherd? German shepherd? Aussie Shepherd. There's like a million types of shepherds. But okay. So and labs and shepherds. They can be very different. So it's very. I'd love to hear how you're thinking about like what are the pros and cons of each. I hear they are both great to grow with children. Yeah. It can actually absolutely depend how old your boys are, because for boys and a dog, especially if you're getting a puppy or adult, that can change the picture quite a lot too. Sandy says, I'm gonna put this up there. Sandy says, blah. Yeah, yes, okay. That's kind of where I'm going. Karen says, no, I haven't. There's still TV. Jason says, German Shepherd, Lucky Ghost. Okay. I'm all caught up. Jason, you're funny. There is still TV. I try and stay away from like TV most of the time, but I will admit I am definitely guilty of like plenty of binges, especially in the last year. Ugh. So I watch my TV, I have my guilty pleasures and all, but I try and stay away from dog training TV shows in general. I watch just enough to like know what they're about so that when people ask, I can advise responsibly. But I will tell you right now, for the most part, dog training reality TV show is like it can be a bad influence, and that is what I was gonna say scares me. I may have heard of one dog training show where like the advice they gave was solid, and I don't even know if it's available in the United States. So that like, it's terrible, and I'm gonna tell you why. Lucky Ghost, ages 16, 13, 7, and 3. Yes, you do absolutely have your hands full. And German Shepherd you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Labs and German Shepherds they could be. You could go. That would be definitely a different situation depending on which way you go with that. But and we've got lots of good advice, so keep coming back. So TV shows. Here's why I'm scared. A lot of the time, the advice given in these TV shows, it's a mixed bag. Maybe they have some good advice, but a lot of the language that they use, a lot of the techniques that they use to get dogs to behave the way that humans want, a lot of them are using outdated methods where the emphasis is on dominating the dog. They are using language like alpha. You have to be the alpha. You have to be in control. You have to, like, they're using this language that creates a very, like, an adversarial relationship between you and your dog. And there's, and when they explain it can sound kind of commonsensical. If you want to make a creature behave in a different way, like that's a form of exerting control over them. So it makes sense that we would want to have control and be the boss, and but counterintuitive as it may be, that's a really, really good way to break down trust that your dog has in you, to weaken the bond that you've got with your dog. And despite what they may show on these shows, a lot of times the methods that they use will end up long-term. They will end up causing more fear, more aggression, more anxiety, more stress. And we don't want that, right? Like you all just said, that's not actually what we want. But the way that TV and those celebrity trainers frame things, it makes it sound like, this is what you have to do. And there's a reason for this, right? draw a crowd, to draw an audience, it has to be suspenseful and dramatic, and there has to be fireworks, and you know and so they want to bring on these trainers who claim that they work with the most difficult dogs. They work with dogs that no one else can help. They work with the aggressive dogs, and but honestly, I'm going to tell you guys, cuz you're here. A lot of it's BS, Dog trainers like myself take on those difficult cases too. We work with aggression. We work with, and we just take a different approach, and one that doesn't. It's not adversarial. We take, because here's the thing, and a dog who's showing aggression or fear, anxiety, stress, any of those things, they're doing what they're doing for a reason. They're doing what they're doing because they feel threatened in some way. That's like the main thing that it comes down to is a dog who's acting aggressively or scary or doing what you don't want them to do. They're just trying, their behavior is a way for them to achieve what they feel their needs are. It's a way for them to get their needs met. And our job as dog owners, dog trainers, is just to teach them a better way to get their needs met, right? And by doing that, everybody's happy. And you can go about it different ways. You can like force them into this box, but what that does is it addresses the surface level behavior. It addresses the aggression. We talked about this in the growling or the resource guarding episode, so you can go back and watch that if you want to learn more about resource guarding. But addressing their surface level behavior may reduce the growling or the barking, but it's not going to address those underlying emotions. So you're going to get a dog who still feels icky about something. They're just not going to show it until they're pushed past their limit. And nobody wants that, right? Because again, that's going to create a dog who's stressed, and they're stressed because they feel like they can't express themselves, and it just builds, and you get a dog who's just not happy. And a dog who's not happy and a dog who is stressed is not going to be the goofy, silly, playful one who gets along with the whole family and who wants to interact with other people. Like, we're gonna take away that silliness and that glow that I think is the reason most of us love dogs, right? We like dogs because they're dogs and they're awesome. And so when we try to like force them into this box, the behavior that we need them, it's bad for everyone all around. I say this just to let you know that advice it's fraught. It can cause a lot of problems, and I don't want those problems for you. And there are better ways. You can absolutely have a dog who we can absolutely shift their behavior essentially in different ways. And I wanted to bring up, so there's this new show, and it's exactly what I just described. It's another trainer who wants to use dominance and force and aversive methods like pain and fear to control dogs. And there's a friend of mine started a petition to try and get Netflix to reconsider putting it on the air, because the people who really want to train that way, or who just want to watch their shows, they're going to do it anyway, and that's fine. But there are plenty of people out there who don't know any better and who might watch these shows and think like, this guy's a professional, this guy knows what he's talking about, and they might try and use that advice with their own dog, and it's gonna break down, and it's gonna make things worse for their dog, it's gonna make things worse for them, and they don't know any better, and they're like a victim of this whole situation. And so if you'd like, if you'd like to help, yeah, CK, I know. Oh no. I put the link to the petition in the description. If you have any interest in signing it, who knows if it'll help, but I felt it was important enough to talk to you guys about tonight. It was important enough for me to sign, because people don't know any better, right? Like you guys, you have named a couple of places that you've gone to seek out information about dog training. Nobody on here said, nobody watching right now said that they watch these shows, which, I guess is good. But there are people who do, right? And if we could encourage, the big media companies, the people who put out this information, like Netflix, like the cable companies, if we could encourage them to seek out professionals who are doing it right, who are using modern, humane training methods, we would get more good information out there to more people. Hey, Nikala, she says, it's so sad to see a dog-human relationship go south and get dangerous based on a TV show. Yeah, it really is, because TV should be about entertainment, and it's hard for those of us who do this professionally to see these to see the bad influences. Lucky Ghost says, I think those dog shows are cruel. And yeah, and when you see and understand dog behavior, and you see how it's affecting them, it is cruelty, Karen says, it takes a lot of time to train your fur baby, but in my opinion, they need to know that they can trust you. And that's really what it all comes down to. They have to trust you. What I really want this place, this forum, this show of my own, what I would like this to be is a way to help people grow trust, right? Because you guys, it sounds like you're all doing really great by your dogs. You're doing a wonderful job. But I have learned so, I thought I was probably doing the same things you guys are doing. I thought I was doing such a good job before I ever learned anything about dogs. And I'm fully admitting now, I knew nothing. I probably knew way less than all of you, 10 years ago. But I have learned so much. It's mind blowing. All these cool ways that we can do better, and we can grow trust way beyond what I ever thought was possible. And it's so cool. And I want this to kind of be a way to help you guys grow dogs' trust, right? It's trust is so important. CK's LOL. I don't know what I said that was so funny, but man. Yeah. So all right. I shared, I'm all over the place. I'm going to continue to blame my mushy brain from this weekend. Just same as on Friday. But I did share, in addition to the petition, the change.org petition link in the comments, I also shared a couple other things, because it just so happened that I had written a blog article. I kind of sort of started a blog recently. I've written 2 articles, but the second one happened to be about this. And I wrote it not even a week or 2 maybe before I even found out about this new show. But it really, it speaks to the exact same thing. So if you want to check out that blog article, that link is in there. I also shared another article that I just happened upon in the midst of all this stuff. From wired.com, and it goes a little bit into the science, which y'all know I love talking about the science too, but it goes into the science of why we don't use those methods. You can watch those shows, you can see the dogs getting stressed, and but sometimes I don't know, it's cool to know why. Why do we do what we do? But there's a really good quote, and I just, you can go and read the article. I did share the link, but I just wanted to share one thing that really stood out to me from this article, and it was this. So, wait, let me find it. Okay, it says, with children, Old parenting advice that relied upon spanking and corporal punishment has fallen out of use and is now considered child abuse, right? How we raise human children has changed a lot in recent years, and it continues to. Similarly, there is a growing shift in the way we live with pets. The kind of coercive or pain-based training methods, such as in these shows that we're talking about, that used to be normal, has, or should be rather, should be completely relegated to the past. All of those methods, like there's no dog that needs those methods. You may hear people say that this breed of dog or this specific dog, like they need a heavier hand, or they need harsher methods. But get this, and this is cool, right? The ways that I train, that my colleagues train, and that we want to teach are the same methods that zoos use to train tigers and bears and dolphins and orcas and these big zoo animals. Actually, even wild animals, they're training literal wild animals, not just captive animals in the zoos. But if we can train these massive predators using treats and positive reinforcement, like there is no reason you can't train such and such breed with the same way, right? No reason. And that's what I just don't get. Like the whole oh, this breed, you have to use harsher methods or you'll never get them to listen. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. What's oops, Lucky Ghost? Oops. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's so cool, and especially I'd love to share at some point. We could just watch videos all day, of zoo trainers training zoo animals. That stuff is so cool to watch. When you get to see a tiger who on cue comes up to the fence, lies down, and allows someone to give them an injection voluntarily for food. When you get to see what was it that I saw this weekend? Lemurs. When you get to see lemurs on cue voluntarily come over, hang by their tails upside down, while they pinch and poke them for veterinary procedures, if we can do this with animals like that, come on, dogs are easy by comparison. All dogs. Karen says, I am hearing that pits are bad dogs. It used to be Dobermans. What I say to anyone is that it's not the breed, it's how the person trains them. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting too, how it kind of changes over time, right? Yeah, it did used to be Dobermans, and it used to be Rottweilers, and it used to be German Shepherds even. Lucky Ghost, yes. You were the one considering German Shepherd. Yeah, all of these are breeds that at one point in time, maybe even still today, some people think this, were labeled as they're bad, or they require harsher methods, right? And it's so not true. How we train them, how we raise them, how we interact with them on a moment-to-moment basis absolutely affects how that dog behaves, right? Of course, it's never the whole picture, right? Genetics do play a role in our behavior as humans. They play a role in every animal's behavior. But how we interact with them is huge. And pits are not bad dogs. They just, behavior does not occur in a vacuum. I don't know who said that originally, but it's such a good quote. It's a dog isn't just bad. You can't just label a dog bad. They act a certain way under certain circumstances, right? And yeah, so all here we're all about treating them in a way that they don't feel like they need to behave in a bad way, you know. Sandy says, I taught a gibbon to take an ear temperature with yogurt raisins. That is so cool. How did you get to do that? That's super, super cool. I got to shadow a zoo trainer for a day, and it was like the best day of my life. We got to we were working on training the I forget now, I think it was black bears. I wanted to say grizzly, but I'm pretty sure they were not that big. But we were training bears to sit, like just like a dog, sit and down. And we were using Smucker's, like spoonfuls of Smucker's jelly to train them. And like, you know, and it literally exact same cues, like verbal cues, doggy, hand signals, like the bears would just sit. Like, how freaking cool. It's a really fun experience. Oh, Lucky Ghost says, so sorry, my 3-year-old did the monkeys. No worries. We can have monkeys. I like it. CK says, animals pick up on your emotions. When I would dog sit and the owner is like, what happened to my dog? Yeah, no, they do. They really do. You know, and that happens because when we are experiencing different emotions, we behave differently, right? Like you don't behave the same way when you're in a good mood that you do when you're sad or when you're mad. Like under the same circumstances, you're going to behave differently depending on your mood. And our dogs are experts at reading our body language. They pick up everything. Like without understanding words, without speaking English or whatever language there is in their household. You know, they're not verbal creatures. So without having that to rely on, they pick up on every subtle cue that our bodies do. How we're walking, how we're moving our hands, where our eye contact is going. Your dog picks up on all of that, and your mood affects that, and that's why they can be so sensitive to our moods. It's so, like, I think stuff is so cool, don't you? Let's see. He's all calm and relaxed. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, and it's true. I've seen that too. I've seen like owners who are like generally very stressed and anxious people, and their dogs come to stay with me, and they act totally differently. You know, they're not displaying the behaviors that the owners warned me about. They're like, my dog is like this, and you know, he's very uptight and blah blah blah, and I'm like, wasn't like that with me. You know, can I help you?
Yeah. So they paid off the Jeep.
Yes.
I got the other vehicle, and I got a
Sorry,
check
guys,
for the balance that we had left over. So we're gonna go away next weekend.
For $6?
Yep.
Excellent.
$6 and
we're going on a $6 vacation. Wonderful. So, all right.
I got your Brussels sprouts and your broccoli.
Great.
I got a ton of it.
I'm going on a diet, guys.
Do you swear on your channel?
What?
Do you swear on your channel?
No.
Oh.
We are not using profanity here. We can say crap.
Okay. I got a crap load of
that's the curse word I'll allow.
Like a big
awesome.
A big butt bag.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Karen says, all they want is to be loved like we want to be loved. Heck yeah, Karen. They do. That's what we all want. Lucky Ghost says, my brother has a pit and she's the most gentle dog ever. You know, and that's the thing. Like, poor pits, they just get the short end of the stick right now. Like, since they're the breed that, like, gets labeled as bad. But you guys, I know, I mean, pits can't, like, some pits that I know really are the sweetest, gentlest, like, most loving dogs you'll ever meet. Like, that's, like, I don't know. That, to me, like, that seems like a very common pity trait. But they can look scary, and people who want, like, fearsome-looking dogs will get them, and they'll put the spiky collars on them, and, you know, like, poor pits, they don't deserve that. Yeah. Sandy, Oakland is where you got to train the gibbon? Was it the Oakland Zoo? Oh my God, that zoo was so awesome. I want to go back there. CK's antics. The dog changed to a better behaved dog when it was with me. So they went back to the owner and they were like, why is my dog not jumping on me? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Sometimes that'll happen. Like I until last year, offered dog sitting in my home. And that would happen a lot, and it's not like we were doing any like active targeted training. Sometimes we call it like the living with a trainer effect. Like dog, they're just around somebody who interacts with them differently, and they're like, oh, like, okay, I don't need to jump. I don't need, it's cool to see how those changes occur. Martha, that's funny. Congratulations on paying off the Jeep. No, I don't know. I don't even understand what he said, to be honest, because we did not pay off. Oh, I just got it. Okay. No, he traded in a Jeep, so we don't like. All right, I see what happened there. CK. Yes, we can say crap. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't. David has a channel. He likes to use profanity. Like, it's not that, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with profanity. It just doesn't feel like me. So I kind of like, I don't know. I don't need to have rules, but it's just that I just wanted to tell him not to, So you guys can say whatever you want. Lucky Ghost says, get out, David. Yeah. When he left, I was like, leave the door open. I've got the whole house to myself. Even Dizzy's gone today. He's at the sitter again. Ooh, which, guys, I'm very excited about and relieved because we sent. All right. Here, I'll get to my updates about the stuff going on in our lives. First of all, I sent Dizzy to a dog sitter for the first time last week. It was a very stressful day for me because I hadn't sent him away to anyone before. Dizzy has a little bit of separation anxiety, maybe even hyperattachment to me. And so I did not know how he was going to do. And I also, like, it's just hard trusting somebody else with your baby, but I found this woman. She only takes one dog at a time, and Dizzy's got some dog issues that we, so I wasn't comfortable sending him off to like closer to like a real daycare where there's multiple dogs type of situation. I just wanted like just for him to be somewhere else with someone who's going to care for him in a loving way, and treat him how I would. So I found this woman, and she was great, very communicative. She sent me updates all day and pictures, and she was really honest with me about how he was doing, and she was concerned because he was kind of stressed and anxious, and but we sent him again today, and she's like 150% improvement. Like, he's totally relaxed, like he's having a great time. So I feel so relieved. And she, like, it's really cute with what she does with them too. They've got like a kind of like a farm. It's like 100 acres, and she takes them out like hiking for hours, and then comes inside and like oh my god, it's so cute. She like set him up on the bed and puts all these like stuffed animals around him, reads him like bedtime stories, and plays dress up, and it's really cute. And I'm glad to know he's having a good time, and that we have like a place that we can send him if we ever do need a sitter, that he's comfortable with. So I feel very relieved about that. Jason DJ says David can control the beeping buttons. He won't give me any beeping buttons. He won't help me set up beeping buttons. You know what else I want is the voice changing thing. Like, I really want to have that too, but he says I can't for some reason. So anyway, I don't have a beep button yet. But Sandy says, yes, I did a lot of training at the zoo. Oh, I'm so jealous of you. They took my puppy class and asked me to help train their animals. You have a lot of stories. Oh, Sandy, would you, since you're getting all set up for live streaming and stuff too, would you ever want to like come on here on here and talk to me and tell some of your zoo stories? I would love to hear them. Like, oh, I'm like, I want that. Would you please, please, please? um, CK's Antic says, how do you vet a dog sitter? That is stressful. Yes. Oh my gosh. Uh, it's hard, and I could speak about it now. But it might be better for me to like organize those thoughts. You know what? I'll do both. Yeah, I'll do a whole thing on that later. Because choosing a sitter, a groomer, a vet, a walker, a daycare, like a trainer, choosing any pet professional, it can be so stressful. And there are good ways to like find ones who will do what you want them to do, right? She says, just go unplug his Go XLR. Will that work? Will that work with my setup? I don't know, because I have Ecamm, and I've got the Mac, and I know he does like other stuff, so I don't know what I can do. I don't know the tech. I like rely on him for help with that. Yay! Sandy says sure. Oh, zoo stories. I'm so excited. Okay, I will talk to you later about when's a good schedule for that. It can be content for later. Just wondering how you find a good one. Ask questions. I mean, that's just good. The way to start is to just ask questions. You know, like how do you like your dogs to be treated? And then ask them questions about that. You know, how I like to frame questions kind of like, what would you do if the dog was barking at another dog? Like, what would you do if, and then maybe describe a situation that your dog kind of does, you've seen them do often. And, and they, that way they can give you like a concrete physical answer of like how they navigate situations. And if you like their answer, great. If you don't, you can ask them like, well, would you mind doing something else? Or you can look for someone else. That's kind of how it boils down. Like, reviews are great. I like getting just reviews from other customers, clients. Or if you have a trusted source to vet those kinds of people, like if you're already working with a trainer and the trainer may have connections in the dog sitting or dog walking world, you can get good referrals from a trusted source. CK Opu, yeah. I thought maybe the Go XLR was PC only. I knew there was a reason I couldn't. Jesse, welcome. It says hello, everyone. Lucky Ghost says, I completely forgot about daycare. There's a whole schoolroom in my house. That's so cool. I feel a dog puppy would help them through this pandemic. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people felt that way. A lot of people have gotten dogs and puppies to such an extent that, like, I've heard that like shelters are on the empty side. Breeders are like have long wait lists, because a lot of people felt the same way. And frankly, like, I got dizzy. I got my dog not that long before this all started. I like March was when crap hit the fan. And I had only gotten dizzy the October before, so I'd only had him for a few months, really. And I am so like, okay, I'm so grateful that I've had him. He is just the love of my life right now. Sorry, David. No, I love David too. Don't. Hopefully he didn't hear that. No, but but I love being Dizzy's dog mama, and he brings me so much comfort. But since we're dealing with the separation anxiety stuff, like, that's a whole other thing we can talk about too someday. Not today, but I knew better than to like spend all of my time with this dog. I really should have been like spending times away from him once the pandemic started. So if/when you get your dog / puppy, we want to do some preventative work around separation anxiety, because you don't want to deal with that, especially like once things go back to normal. Like, you don't want a dog who doesn't know what normal is. So I got you, Lucky Ghost. We can definitely talk about that. Jason, hello. He says, hi, Jesse. Where even was I? now I'm all lost. Well, guys, I don't know. Oh, the updates. Oh, okay. So, I gave you the update about Dizzy and how we're very, very happy that we found a wonderful sitter and that Dizzy likes the sitter. Like, oh, you should have seen him when we first like got out of the car and he saw her. He was like, he just brightened up and like ran over to her wagging, and I was like, okay, good. He had like, that's whew, got the Dizzy stamp of approval. I feel so relieved. Thanks, Lucky Ghost. So, but the other thing, the other update is that the reason that I was looking for a sitter last week and specifically for today is because you guys may know we've been talking about the puppy that we're getting, and we were supposed to be going to get that puppy today, and had everything gone according to plan, I would be holding that puppy right now. Like we would have gone up to Seattle like right after David's stream this morning, picked up the puppy, and we would have been home by now with our new little Pomeranian. But we had to have a talk this weekend. We had a heart to heart and made the difficult decision not to get a puppy right now. Because we have some other priorities to take care of. Mainly, I think it will be easier to continue to work through some of Dizzy's issues. You know, like Dizzy still needs a lot of my trainer hat attention, working through some things. And while that's certainly possible with a puppy, it'll be easier to work on that when he's the only baby at home. So for that reason, and also like I've been having, damn it, I can't like, okay. I've been having a rough time, and if you know me at all, or if you keep watching, you will. I can't talk about this kind of stuff without crying, so please excuse me. Anyway, I'm still having a rough time, and I put off taking care of myself, so sorry. I kind of like my way of avoiding some of my own issues is to stay busy, either taking care of my dog or taking care of other people's dogs. And thanks, CK. Thanks, Lucky Ghost. She says, teaching one at a time is best. It really is. She says, oh my god, girl, I cry over everything. No worries. Thank you. Yeah, so normally I just try and stay busy to keep out of my own head, and it's really been like it's how I avoid my own problems. But I don't really want to do that anymore. I would like to I just I want to get better, and I want to do a better job of taking care of myself. And so while a puppy would be lovely, and a puppy would lift my spirits and keep me busy and keep me out of my own head for a while, puppies are also a lot of work, and they can be very stressful. And so yeah. I think so we decided that while there will be a really lovely time to get a puppy, and where I will be able to bring my full self, to giving the puppy the best that I can. It's not yet. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm such a crier. Jesus. My 7 dogs give you licks. Thank you. Nicola, thank you for the hugs. So while it's kind of a loss to not have a puppy, especially when, you know, we've got our puppy pen and the crates, and I put treats all over the house strategically, and like I was like so ready, and we've got all this stuff, and like walking past that, I'm like, oh, like now we don't have a puppy, I'm sad, you know, like. So while it is a bit of a loss to have been so excited and expected to have that, it's also an opportunity, you know. I'm trying to look at it as an opportunity to use those resources, my time, and what what mental facility I have, to try and find help to take care of myself. So yeah. And yeah, so that's what's going on. 100% supporting you no matter what. Thank you. It will be okay. Karen, thank you. She says, take your time, sweetheart. You'll get better. Yeah. I know I'm not the only one who's missing being able to give and receive hugs right now. There will be puppies when your family is truly ready, and there will. Hopefully it won't be too long, because I've wanted a puppy for so long. Like I've been wanting a puppy since before I got Dizzy, and Dizzy, you know, is wonderful, and my heart dog and all the rest, but like I didn't get to raise him as a puppy, and I really wanted to go through that process. Yeah, no, I know I'm not alone. Jessie says, don't worry, we're here for you. That means so much. I mean, I'm so glad that you guys are here, and that we're able to have a discussion like this, and I want to be here for you too, you know, and your dogs, and that's, yeah. Hugs. So oh, I almost like talked about these updates at the top of the hour, and I'm like so glad I didn't do that, because I would have derailed the whole thing. I'd have just been crying the whole time. Karen says, I'm missing my bell really bad right now, so I know how you feel. Oh, yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard. Lucky Ghost said, I wanted a puppy since before my youngest son, which is 3. Maybe we can get puppies together in the future. Yes, totally. You know, but it's, part of me feels like I want to be a little bit like self-congratulatory, and you congratulatory for like being, you know, it's like making a responsible decision, you know, like it's so easy to just like, you could just see it like a picture of a puppy. I mean, forget seeing a puppy in person, because then it's like you can't, there's no way you can say no. And that's kind of what happened, is that like we'd been looking for puppies, I've been talking to breeders, you know, and we went to visit to see if this was even an option for us. And like my like responsible thinky brain was like, peace, I'm out of here. And like my emotional, like, I need to have a puppy brain was like, yes, here, take my money, please. Yeah, it's Sandy. She says, I don't think we can do a show together. I cry worse. All right, so everybody who wants to see me and Sandy just like cry for an hour, come back next week. No, I see. Here's the thing, though, is like like some people, like you can see somebody else crying and it like starts you crying. If somebody else is crying, for me, like my brain goes into like, you got to pull it together, girl. You got to like help this person feel better. So if someone else is crying, I can't be crying. So I think we'll be okay. Karen says we can have a cry session with you anytime. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm not the only one though, you guys. Like, thank you. That actually makes me feel a lot better. Yes, having a puppy is like having a child. So that's where I was going. So like, yeah, like, oh, I have had a lot of clients who decided, who like went the other route, you know, like you had a 3 or you had a baby. They weren't 3 right away. But so like you had a baby and you're like, I really want to get a puppy, but like now is not the right time. Let's like focus our energy on our youngest son right now, you know? And but some people kind of go the other way. They're like, they either get a puppy like right before they're going to have a baby, or they've got a really young kid and they get a puppy because they like, the idea is that they want them to grow up together, you know, which can be fine. It can be great, you know, but it's a lot. It's a lot, you know. It's like I said, raising a puppy is a lot of work, and like it doesn't even come close to how hard, like the work that goes into raising a human. But like raising both at the same time, like people who do that must be like, I don't know. I just couldn't. I'm not that capable. So people who do that, like, that's great for them. I couldn't do it. But I have had plenty of people who made that choice, you know, and it's just so much. CK Sandick says, I'm glad I can't go visit places in person because I would leave with all the puppies. I know, right? Like, oh, it's a skill that I thought I had honed, you know? Like I have always been an animal lover. Like I was lucky that as a child I had parents who let us have a million pets. Like I had so many pets throughout my childhood, you know? Like we had family dogs we had family dogs, but like we, as like individuals, and there were four of us kids, and we were allowed to like get our own, like I had mice and I had gerbils and guinea pigs and fish, and you know, like I had small pets, um and like I don't know, you took me to a pet store and I was like, I need can I take them all? You know, and had I been the one with the paycheck and the credit card, you know, like I probably would have. So like as I've become more of an adult, like I won't say I'm an adult now. I don't feel like I'm there yet. But as I've continued to grow up, you know, like I thought like I can make responsible decisions now, but holy hell, like you guys, like when we saw those puppies, like I don't know what happened to my brain. Like it just it's a little bit embarrassing, but you get it. The Lucky Ghost says, 3 ladies crying channel. That's funny. Um oh, I'm going back here to see some of your comments. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a small decision. Like dogs dogs will impact they will change your life, you know. Like it's one thing. And I do want to qualify this. Like I think any species of pet that you get deserves to be taken care of with the same level of care and consideration, and you know, the whole trust factor that we've talked about like every day. Like it's important no matter the species. But dogs and cats are like, they're kind of a different ball game because they are pets who they're not kept in a cage. You know, they have full run of the house in most instances, and they may travel with us, they may go outside, they may do social, they're expected to be social. We expect so much more of them, that like they just really will change your life. So I think in deciding when and if to get a pet, like dogs require more thoughtful consideration before making that decision. So it's good that you're doing that. CK's Antic said, since losing Cusco, I struggle with when to get a puppy. I think emotionally I'm ready, but I also know I'm not ready with a move coming up later this year. Yeah, I mean, like big life changes. Yeah, that's absolutely an important consideration. Not that you can't do it. It's just, do you want do you want to do that? At what will your puppy or dog be going through at that age, like when the move is going to happen, or if you're, depending on if you're buying or renting, like how would having that dog impact your choices, like there's so much to think about. Karen says, come on over and we can all cry together. Like, man, that sounds awesome. Honestly, like I would, what I wouldn't give for like a girly like slumber party crying cathartic movie night with like that is what I need right now. No crying. Stop it. A show about playing with doggos instead. Oh my god. And say, like, I really wanted, like I was really excited about sharing the puppyhood, the puppiness with you guys. Like, we've got our other camera set up. We could do little puppy play sessions and puppy training sessions, like live with you here. And that's gonna happen, just not today. Lizzie, thank you for joining us. She says these are the times for big feels. Oh, I'm so tired of big feels though. Question, do they sell puppy diapers yet? I mean, actually they kind of do. They do. They sell dog diapers. It's actually really funny. Like, I didn't know that until last year, I think, but they do. My brother, CK's Antic says, my brother brought home a raccoon and kept that for a little until my parents found, like when you were kids. That is like, okay, that is so many things simultaneous. That is your parents' nightmare, probably. That is so dangerous because of rabies. That is like my dream come true because, oh my god, raccoons are so cute. We never brought home a raccoon as kids, but we definitely brought home a lot of like found animals, and like maybe that was bad, but like, I don't know, our parents let us do it. So, and we learned a lot from it, and we tried our best. But that's funny. Your heart melted is what happened. I mean, yeah. Do you think, is there any age or like level of maturity where we get past that? The whole like heart melting, like I'm bringing this puppy home, brain takeover thing. Karen says, I could be the mom or grandma after all. I am 59. I just thought I heard a knock at the door. That's unusual. Who would be knocking on our door? Lucky Ghost says, I'm not sure if I want to clean up a puppy diaper. No, honestly, I would not recommend puppy diapers. Like they make like diaper style things for dogs, but like I definitely would not recommend that, because when you get a puppy, like you want to start potty training the moment you pick that puppy up ever, like is the moment potty training starts, and diapers are not going to help with that. So yes, just trying to keep you smiling. You guys, you are so awesome, and I love you so much. You are keeping me smiling. Deaf Golden Girl, nope. Are we saying no to cleaning up puppy diapers? Yeah, baby is gross enough. I think we'll stick to walks. Absolutely. Is that what everyone's saying no to? Oh no to the outgrowing the heart melting thing. I see. Okay. Well, that's maybe a good thing, maybe bad, but the age is 100, says Jason. That's funny. So he says, my mom wants to bring all puppies home. I think it happens at all ages. Okay. Yep. All right. So right, well, that's good to know what to expect. Puppy pads, got it. We'll talk about puppy pads one day. Tell me when you're getting a puppy, Lucky Ghost, and we will talk all about potty training, puppy pads, all the puppy things. I love talking about puppies, obviously. CK's Index says, do you have tips to stop a boy puppy from marking in the house? I do. And it essentially, it comes back to house training, really. It's back to basics, because marking in the house, while we kind of label it something different, it's really a house training issue. It's just that with a puppy or a new dog, we allow them more access to the house when they are empty. And the thing with marking male dog, well, yeah, the thing with marking dogs is that we can never consider them empty, so we just have to like manage them more tightly and heavily reinforce them with food, yummy treats for going outside when you want them to. That's really what it is. Deaf Girl says, I'm an animal lover. I think everybody here has to be an animal lover, right? Everybody watching. I mean, Jason says, I have 7 adult puppies. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, labs kind of are puppies forever. David's back. What?
I don't mean to be party people, but it's about 20 after 5.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I gotta go get Dizzy, guys, because the sitter wants me to. She says I have to pick him up before 6:30.
So 6:30? I thought you said 6.
I said, yeah, I know. I wanted to be home by 6.
Okay.
So that I don't.
Okay, in my head, I thought that was 6, so that's why. So then you're fine.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, because I kind of lost track of time with how emotional things got. I'm still like hanging on to my crying Kleenex.
Snot rag?
No, it's not snotty. It's full of tears. Karen says that's how I trained Candy. Yeah, adult puppies are the best. They really are. You know, Dizzy just turned 2, as you know, if you came to his birthday party. So he still acts very much like a puppy, even though he is full grown. CK says, I'll send my friend to your channel. Her puppy needs help. Yeah, I mean, puppies, because they're so much work, like they're just overwhelming. People need help, and I want to be that help. So yeah, send them my way. I gotta go put the boys to bed. Super fun watching it. I will see you later, Lucky Ghost. Karen says we love you, and remember, we are here for you. You guys rock so much. Thank you, Nicola. Bye, Lucky Ghost. Karen says I still have mine in my hand. Oh. Yes. So yeah. So I guess I will go pick up my love. And I will see you guys back here on Wednesday. By the way, if you feel like it, I mean, I hate this, but like, among those other links that I shared in the description, there's also one that you can support me by, it's the Buy Me a Coffee link. If you so desire. Certainly no pressure, you do not have to. You guys have given me enough love already today. But it's there. It's there. All right, so yeah, I'll see you tomorrow on David's show, Karen. I'll be watching in the comments too. So, yes, already. Lucky Ghost, everyone, don't forget to smash this like button. No, we're not saying smash. We're saying boop. You can boop the like button. You can boop the subscribe button too if you want.
Or paw it.
You can paw it. Ooh, that's a good one too. Paw that like button. I feel so dorky. Anyway, all right. Thank you guys. Love you. See you on Wednesday.